Hi, it's Alayne with Augustine TV. Today we're making Minorcan Clam Chowder, one of the most famous regional dishes in St. Augustine. This chowder is tomato-based. It has potatoes, clams, and datil peppers. Much different from the creamy clam chowder that we're all used to.
The Minorcans arrived in St. Augustine in the late 1700s after leaving a failed colony in New Smyrna. When they finally reached St. Augustine, they brought their food traditions with them and adapted them to what was available here.
We'll start with salt pork. This is traditional and very important. Salt pork was shelf-stable, easy to store, and common for Minorcan families who relied on preserved foods. I'm rendering it slowly, just until the fat comes out and the pork starts to brown. Next comes our veggies. We've got celery, carrots, onion, and green pepper. These all would have been easily sourced and affordable, and even grown in small gardens.
They had access to clams, fish, tomatoes, pork, and datil peppers, which grow incredibly well in this region. This chowder came out of that combination.
As these cook, you can already smell how savory it's going to be. This isn't fancy food. It's reliable food, and it's meant to feed an entire household. Once the vegetables have softened, it's time to add the crushed tomatoes and tomato paste. So we'll add 2 to 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now this is what gives Minorcan clam chowder its color and flavor. If your chowder's not red, it's not Minorcan. Letting the tomatoes cook down a bit really helps to deepen and develop the flavors and also gets rid of that raw tomato taste. Next, the potatoes go in, along with 8 ounces of clam juice, which you can get at the store. And 2 to 3 cups of fish stock. It really just depends on how thick you like your soup. We start with 2 and add as needed. I'm adding some bay leaves, some thyme, some oregano, and some rosemary. These are very familiar and easily accessible herbs, and together they give the chowder a really nice, grounded flavor. Now we just let this simmer. Low and slow was best. You want the potatoes tender but not falling apart. And this is the kind of pot that would stay on the stove while other things were happening in the household. It was easy and practical because you could get other things done while it simmered. Now that the potatoes are ready, it's time to add the clams. You can use fresh or frozen clams if you can find them, but unfortunately I could not find them locally, so I went with canned clams. Back in the 17 and 1800s, clams would have been very prevalent on the coast here, and unfortunately that's not the case anymore. And the final part is your datil peppers. I unfortunately don't have any fresh datil peppers because they're not really in season in the winter, but I have some datil pepper sauce that I made. I'll link to that video, and it does the trick. So we're gonna start with just a little bit, because as you know, this can be a little powerful. We'll start there and mix it in. And this is a really good time to do a taste test for seasoning, spice level, and consistency. Ooh. Minorcan clam chowder is the quintessential St. Augustine dish. It sources local ingredients, very easily accessible, and it's simple to make. Let's do a taste test. I can see why people like this. It's spicy, it's chunky, it's got just the right amount of seasoning and fat and clams, and it's delicious. That datil pepper really sets it apart from other chowders. You can serve it with some crusty bread or maybe some oyster crackers, which is probably more traditional, but it's really good. This is Alayne with St. Augustine TV. Thanks for cooking along. And if you liked this video and traditional St. Augustine dishes, please like, subscribe, and comment below.